I'm being accused of selfishness because I'm going on a solo vacation, but the truth is, I've worked my butt off for it. I'm a 27-year-old guy, and I've always been the free one. Most of my friends have kids, especially toddlers, but I don't. And I love being the fun friend and uncle. I've always stood firm in my decision not to have kids, and most of my friends have accepted that. We don't need to talk about it, right? They know where I stand. Still, it seems like they're just waiting for the day that I change my mind and announce that I'm having kids, which, spoiler alert, is never going to happen. As a single, childless guy, I have a lot more freedom than my friends with kids. I can live on a whim, plan trips, or do whatever I want with little to no restrictions. If I ever decide I want kids later in life, I can always change my mind. They can't. This freedom is something I'm grateful for, but recently, some of my friends, especially one couple, have begun acting bitter toward me. They've always been supportive of my travels before, but lately, their attitude has changed. I'm being accused of selfishness because I'm going on a solo vacation, but the truth is, I've worked my butt off for it. Part 2. It all started when I told them I was planning a month-long trip to Brazil in June. My friend's immediate response was, "Ugh, you should be saving that money to buy a house and start a family." I calmly replied, "But I have no interest in reproducing, and I'm not ready to settle down. We've talked about this before, so it wasn't new." But then his girlfriend chimed in, "Yeah, whatever. Must be nice to just fly off all over the world. Maybe one day you'll know what it's like to be responsible, instead of just thinking about yourself." At that moment, I was taken aback. I've worked so hard for this vacation. I've been budgeting for over a year, cutting out things like eating out, video games, and even cigarettes and soda to save extra money. I work more hours than both of them combined, and yet here they were, acting as if I didn't deserve a vacation just because I'm not burdened with kids. It was laughable and pathetic. They were practically shaming me for having the freedom they didn't. But I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe they were just resentful in the moment. I could understand that. They've never gotten to do something like this because raising kids is expensive. I'm being accused of selfishness because I'm going on a solo vacation, but the truth is, I've worked my butt off for it. Part 3. Then, things took a turn. They asked me to loan them $3,000 so they could go on a vacation that same summer. She even whipped out her phone and showed me the resort they wanted to stay at. When I saw that they'd planned a 14-day stay at $2,400, I realized they'd been planning to ask me for money all along. I was honestly speechless at first, but eventually, I said, "Look, man, I've been saving for over a year for this trip, and I can't afford to loan that much money. Plus, I'm still trying to recoup the $1,800 I lent you guys for that vehicle a while back." I told them no, I just couldn't do it. And that's when it all fell apart. They lost it. You single souls ever think about anyone else? You have no idea what it's like. We never get to do anything. Some friend you are. You'd rather go off by yourself than help our kids have a good summer. At this point, I just walked out without saying another word. It was clear to me that all I was to them was a piggy bank. I'm being accused of selfishness because I'm going on a solo vacation, but the truth is, I've worked my butt off for it. Part 4. The following weekend, I got another text from them, "Are you sure we can't all go to the resort together? The kids really need this. It's not like you can't go to Brazil another time." I couldn't believe it. That text was a final nail in the coffin for me. It was a perfect example of entitlement, like my vacation and hard work meant nothing. They just wanted me to fund their fun because they couldn't afford it themselves. Now I'm left questioning everything. They've been my friends for years, but I'm realizing that they never really saw me as a friend. I was just someone they could ask for money when they needed it. What hurts the most is the realization that they don't understand how much I've sacrificed to get to where I am.